Hey everyone, it's Erin, and I just want to introduce you to my cousin Katie. And the Big Data Beard has chosen to do the Spartan Sprint this year at Fenway Park. And we wanted to make it a charity event. And our charity that we chose is Our Same Foundation. And it was started by my cousin Katie. And in all honesty, I am on the board, but this is a very important charity for all of us. And we wanted the opportunity to hear a little bit from Katie about why she started the charity and more about Samuel, so that you could get some insight into it as we're asking you to make these donations. So thank you, Katie, for joining us. And we would really appreciate if you could take the time to really tell us why you started Our Same Foundation.
Well, first, I just want to start with thank you so much, Erin, for having me come on and talk with you a little bit.
Yes.
Our Same Foundation is, it began because my son, Samuel, struggled with addiction for about 4 years. On and off. And on July 22nd, 2017, he lost his battle with addiction. I wanted to start a scholarship fund for rehab and sober living because I felt like that finding sober living and rehab for someone who does not have insurance, there's a lot of holes in the system or cracks in the system. Mm-hmm. People miss out on help that beds are available. So we need to get them into those beds and get treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you take a little bit of time and tell us about Samuel?
Samuel was that sweet kid from the get-go. I called him an old soul at 3 years old. Yeah. He was my baby, so he was the one that would come along with me to go, and I would work in the cafeteria, and he would find a buddy at the table sitting there while I worked. He was the kid when he was a teenager. He would, as a young teen, share his Pokemon cards with a younger neighbor. He was that kid. And as he got older, he struggled with depression. And we got him into therapy and got him treatment. And felt like he was doing really well until about around 21 years old. That's when he tried heroin for the first time.
Now, you had mentioned that Our Same Foundation is a scholarship fund, so can you just provide some more information about what we're trying to achieve in the Our Same Foundation?
Absolutely. It's currently right now we are only offering scholarships for sober living, and it's scholarships to places that I know that is already doing the work. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. So these are level 3 sober living homes that they require 6 meetings a week, 6 meditations a week, require you to have a job. And with this, they have to pay rent every single, week, month, according to how they set up the rules. And so that's kind of where we're starting. And I'm starting off slowly, hoping to grow, to be able to reach out to more and more sober living and transitional houses as we get bigger.
Right. And you know these houses, right? So you've talked to the people, you've been there. It's you have a tie to these organizations, correct?
Yes. Actually, one of the places that I got connected with through a friend was actually one of the houses that Samuel had lived in for 5 months and left that house completely sober, doing great, until he slipped again and went into active addiction again. But it's, yes, the familiarity of a group, a network of these houses we know from Samuel being there.
Yeah, which I love. So how is it going so far? How is our Same Foundation, being successful out there?
Well, we've had our first recipient that we were able to give a scholarship to.
That's awesome.
He is actually coming up on a year clean, and he had lost his job, and money was starting to, back rent was starting to really bother him. He was starting to get down, and the house manager called me and said, would you be willing to help out? And I said, absolutely. That's what we're there for. If somebody can't focus on their recovery,
right,
that's what causes them to go back into active addiction, or worse, even lose their bed at a house.
Right.
So that's, it doesn't have to be the first month for us. It can be just someone in need.
Right. Absolutely. So I love that because, we were talking earlier about the fact is to just miss out on a rent and just to have that little blip in his radar and to, end up on the street because he couldn't pay the rent is just something that's just too critical that it's really important to be able to support him and give him that scholarship. Again, you had said it's for like level 3, so there are some requirements behind it. There are things that he has to continue to do, which I think is really, really great. And I love that you're able to meet with these people directly and understand these organizations, because I know personally trying to find an organization to give my money to that you trust and that you understand has been really difficult, especially in, when it comes to addiction. So it's nice to know that you're tied into these people, you're meeting these people, they know you, and that certainly means a lot to me. So I thank you for doing that. So we want to thank everyone for your time, Katie, and hopefully you will support our Big Data Beard as we're doing the Spartan Sprint this November. And thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.